Welcome to demo video number 2, and this is video demonstrating how to calculate FICA taxes. And remember, FICA taxes are referred to as Medicare tax and Social Security taxes. And so in this video, I'll show you how to calculate both. So first of all, before we get into it, I want to make sure that you have a little background to the Medicare tax and Social Security. As what I've mentioned before in my previous demo video, under Social Security taxes, any voluntary deductions that the employee makes, such as to cafeteria plans and flexible spending accounts, are not subject to Social Security taxes, as well as Medicare. So you keep that in mind, okay? And then with this chapter and with Medicare tax, during the beginning of 2013, an additional Medicare tax of 0.9% was imposed on individuals whose earnings exceeded specific levels. So as you can see here, if you were single, head of household, or qualifying widower, and if your earnings total $200,000 or more, you were required to pay that 0.9% extra tax based on Medicare. With married filing jointly, if you made $250,000 or more, you were supposed to, or you were obligated to pay that 0.9%. And if you were married filing separately and you made $125,000, you were imposed that 0.9% on top of that 1.45%. So I'm going to go ahead and list the percentages here so that we can keep in mind what we need to do just in case. And I'm going to do this so that we can remind ourselves that that's what that is. Okay, so for the OASDI, let's make that green. For HI, which is Medicare, let's make that orange. Okay. Now, the Medicare tax had always been 1.45% since 1986 up to 2014. And just a little warning. Unlike for Social Security tax, which is OASDI, the same as OASDI, there is no upper earnings limit above which Medicare tax is not levied. So all employees' earnings are subject to Medicare taxes no matter how much they make. Additionally, if they make over these amounts or over, they are imposed that additional 0.9% tax. So keep that in mind. So there's a cap to Social Security as opposed to Medicare. There is no cap. All right, so let's go ahead and start the first one. For each of the following employees, calculate both the Social Security tax, which is OASDI here, and the Medicare tax, which is HI, for the weekly pay period described. Christopher Jones, filing status is qualifying widower, and he earned gross pay of $1,550. Each period, he makes a 401k contribution of 8% of gross pay and makes a contribution of 4% of gross pay to a flexible spending account. His current year taxable earnings for Social Security tax and Medicare tax to date are $249,700. Okay, so it looks like his Social Security tax is going to be 0, because we all know, or with this given information here, okay, so far he's made this much amount. Our cap, I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Okay, the cap is $117,000. He clearly made over that, so we are no longer to impose that 6.2% on OASDI on his wages. So it's going to be 0. Okay, his Medicare tax. All right, so what we're going to do with his Medicare tax is this. I'm going to do it down here. under Medicare tax, do calculations and notes here. His wages is $15.50. He makes a contribution of 4% to a flexible spending account. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Okay, so I'm going to take $15.50 minus 62 for the flexible spending account. And let's go ahead down here. Okay, so I'm going to get a total amount of $14.88. And for my Medicare tax then, okay, and because Jones made over the $200,000 threshold, he is required to pay the extra 0.9%. Okay? So what I'm going to do is this, and you can do it two ways, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to take 1488 times, oops, okay, that was not what I wanted, okay, times 0.9% plus 1488 times 1.45%. You can do it that way. And your Medicare tax then is going to be $34.97. Or you can do both of them differently. You can do this one separately and then this one separately and then just add them together. You can do it that way. But here is what we are looking for Christopher for number 1. And these are just notes, so you can go ahead and take that, take those notes down, or I am going to go ahead and post these answers as well, so you will have those answers. But that's the first one. I'm going to stop the video here since we're already at 7 minutes. I will continue on with number 2 and hopefully number 3 or 4 in the next video.